This is the Savage Hour Podcast. We take you inside the mind of fighters, athletes, and entrepreneurs. Don't miss an episode. Follow and subscribe. What's up, guys? Today we are going to discuss the gym and fitness industry, how to scale it, and how to preserve your business in a time like right now during the pandemic. A big topic of conversation that I have been in with colleagues and also just people in general that I'm helping and working with is, number one, it's how do you maintain your business during these times? Number two is how do you structure and plan to grow it once we get out of these days, and also how do you even try to grow it right now during these times. And we're going to go over a few different things that I'm working with different gyms and also just fitness individuals on how to keep yourself afloat and being able to take those measures and scaling it for moving forward. So the first thing that I think is really important that every gym must have, whether you are a sports center or you're a fitness facility or just a coach, is the number one thing that's going to make anybody successful, and that is leadership. Right? So, mind my horrible handwriting. Leadership is the number one thing that I think that any coach needs to have or any gym owner needs to have, because once you are able to take your skill set that you have, that's great, that's one thing. But now once you're able to take your vision and really invest into the people that you have around you. So when I say invest into them, I'm talking about your staff, your students, your customers. You want to be able to lead them to success, showing them why your academy is going to help them, how it's going to help them. And also during days like this, when we're in this uncertainty phase, it's one of those things that they just might even need to know that they have somebody like you that is going to be able to help them along. You could be posting little things of just you talking motivational words, helping them get through it, because all of us are getting through this together, and togetherness is really what makes any business grow. It's not because people just want to work out. They want to work out with you. They want to be a part of what you're doing, and that's because of the leadership and the value that they are bringing them. If it was just about fitness, let's be honest, they could find a gym anywhere in the county, or even just do it on their own. But it's the way that they are feeling because of the leadership that you bring to the table. So that's the first part, leadership. Now, the second part is going to be, this one's a hard one. Commit 100%. And that's the reason why I say this is a hard one, because commitment is a tough thing that all of us have. I mean, this comes down to you've been with somebody for 10 years and you still can't make the commitment of saying, hey, I want to spend the rest of my life with you. You know, it's like a little thing that we have this hard thing of I don't want to commit all in, because that means that if I'm all in, I'm not focusing on these other things. And if you want to scale your business, if you want to survive a gym in this pandemic, then you must be 100% in. All the other little things that you're into can always come at another time. But if you really want your stuff to grow and you want to be a true leader, the people that you want to sign up at your gym, the people that you want to train with you and stay with you, they need to see that you're committed, because that's going to make them be able to break their comfort zone of what they're already doing and go work with you. So when you're committed 100%, now what does that mean? I'm talking about with your scheduling. It has to be completely diligent. Wake up in the morning, you start your day, you start your planning. If you don't know how to do that, I've done other videos, whether it's me or somebody else, there's plenty of stuff that's on YouTube, the internet, on teaching you how to schedule. But your day has to be revolving around what you are wanting to do. If this is what you want to do, if this is your passion, if you want to scale this, you must be 100% committed. So your scheduling is number one. So from the moment you wake up, maybe your scheduling literally is, look in my schedule, look at your plan, your day. So everything actually has a process that you're checking boxes as you're getting into it. And every day you need to work towards realistic goals, not your long-term goals. Those are a whole different thing. We're talking daily building goals, things that you can actually keep yourself accountable for and constantly evaluate. The beginning of the day, set it. At the end of the day, review it. Then the next day, now you have your goals and your tools that you can work with for what you're doing. So if it's Monday, now you have Tuesday's agenda. I didn't get X, Y, and Z finished. So that's how you're going to work with your scheduling. That's part of the commitment process. So you got to need those. You need yourself accountable. That's really what it is. Because if you can't keep yourself accountable, how can you expect a potential client or a customer to come train with you day in and day out, or even just simply show up the day that they're supposed to sign that membership form? So the commitment's everything. So that's the second part. The third one is streamline. Now, streamlining. this is one of the things that I've been helping a lot of gyms with lately, is learning how to streamline your process. Now that can be anything from the way you're working with your classes. It can also be with the most important one, how your members are paying the academy or the gym. You know, a lot of the times that we do cash members, we want it to be as less confrontational as possible, you know, especially when you're doing the coaching, you're doing the front end, you're doing the signups, and then it comes down to money. That's always the hardest conversation to have with people. It's like, hey, your gym dues are up, I need you to pay me. The problem with that is that they are already going to you for their leadership and their mentoring. They don't want to have that conversation about finances. So now when we start streamlining the process, have some type of a billing software. You might lose 1, 2, 3% of your billing, but it's going to remove the headache of members that are no longer paying their bills. They're constantly late. They have to spend hours hunting down. That is such a wasted process for you as a business owner, or even just as a fitness trainer, that you don't need to be doing. So streamlining your billing is the number one thing that you got to get under control. Number 2 is how to control the influx of your members coming in and out of the gym. This is something that, like for me, that I recently took on during this whole pandemic, and that's having a check-in software where my members come in. They're not allowed to come into the academy without previously checking in. So meaning that they have an app that they sign in on. There's tons of them out there. There's Zen Planner, there's MindBody, and what they do is you can have, they log in from their cell phone, they reserve their class. Now you as the business know exactly who's coming, and whoever shows up, if they did not register for that class, that means that they can't take the class. It's that simple. A lot of times we all know this, that people will show up and you go, oh, I didn't know that I had to pay my gym dues. Well, by doing this part of your streamlining, you're removing that aspect of it. That if they don't have an active membership, they will not be able to reserve a class. So these are ways that you're gonna stop people from taking up mat space that aren't paying. You're gonna remove the headache of chasing down people that owe you money, and now your billing is taken care of, and that's not anything you have to worry about anymore. Those are huge things that as a business owner, or even just a coach, that you are able to take off your plate and now focus on the bigger picture. So the next one is going to be our marketing. Okay. So marketing is huge. A lot of us don't realize that there's simple things that marketing really is. For example, I'm wearing a sweater, right? It says CMMA Fight Team. That's marketing. That means everywhere I go, I'm essentially a walking billboard or a walking advertisement. Every time my students go outside and they're wearing their shirts, same thing, it's marketing and advertising. We try to come up with new things every quarter of the year. That way, so that the members have fresh new things that they are excited to represent, and then it's also for you too, it's twofold. It's your marketing and it's additional income coming in that's not taking up space in your academy walls. So that's such a big deal. When you have constantly evolving new equipment, new gear, keep pumping it out. You know, another thing you can do for free marketing is literally this. You have people come in, try a class, give them a shirt. Give them something that they can leave with, regardless if they sign up. You know, like right now, I know it's tough because nobody's doing free trials, nobody's bringing in new members. I get it. So there's plenty of ways that you can do also additional marketing. Social media is huge right now, right? So you can do tons of things where you can give people a t-shirt. Hey, I'll give you a t-shirt. If you post 2 videos a week, 1 video a week, anything, tag the academy, do those things so that way you're getting your name out there. You have to be bigger than what your walls are. It's really that effective, because if you are only expecting people to show up to your gym, sign up, give you their money, and there's nothing else that makes you bigger, they're already going to go to those other gyms that have those things in place. Now there's other things that you can do that make it a little bit more extensive. We can get into Google ads, we can get into Facebook marketing, Instagram marketing, video placement. There's tons of influencer things that you can do as well, and that's a whole nother topic, but we'll touch on it a little bit. Once you start understanding how the Google ads work, the Facebook marketing works, you set your demographic and then you set your target campaigns. Meaning that, like, let's say I want to promote my jiu-jitsu classes. I have a whole list of things that I work with my my other gyms that I'm helping build the programs that, okay, on Facebook, we have this post, this post, this post that goes out Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And then on Instagram, we will literally have a whole list of things. Okay, we have a 15-second video, a 60-second video for Instagram, YouTube. I've got a swipe video. I also have that same video that's gonna be edited for another context that's gonna be placed on IGTV, which will be anywhere from 60 to 90 seconds. We'll take that same video, and now it's also gonna be a YouTube video for a full episode of that. And then now you're building from one video that's all marketing. It's all coming down from, let's say it was a 6-minute video to begin with. You chop that thing up to many different levels, and you can use that for tons of different marketing campaigns based on what your target audience is. So whether it's, like I said, jiu-jitsu, boxing, maybe you have a special promotion, you could chop all that down. If you guys want more information about that, I can help you guys. Just DM me and I'll do my best to give you guys some insight on that. Right? So marketing is huge, and there's tons of ways for you to be creative about it. And if you truly do want to grow your business, that is the key to it, because referrals fantastic by the people that you have in your gym, but you're gonna have to grow, and the marketing is gonna be the key for that. It might cost you a couple dollars, but in the long run, that couple dollars is gonna come back to you tenfold. So the next part is building a team. Right? So building a team. Now that's not meaning like I'm talking building an instructor team, building a fight team, building a team of people to tell you how good you are. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about building a team in regards to you as a business. There's tons of people out there like for myself, you know, I have business mentors, I have gyms affiliates that I work with, I have people that have done different things, I have people that I look up to. In fact, I also reach out to my members to find out what I can do better for them. And when you're building a team, you have to understand one major question for yourself, actually, is that it's okay to ask for help. Many of us don't want to ask for help because then it appears that we don't know what we're doing. But the reality is this: if you're growing, you must ask questions, because if you didn't know the answer, you would already have those things. So like I have a lot of friends that I'm asking, hey, what did you do for this holiday for your gym? And I just want to input. If there's nothing wrong with that, because if you guys are doing holiday specials, annual specials, well, what are you guys doing for back to school? There's nothing wrong with that. If you're asking the people that you admire and you look up to, then you guys are going to have casual conversation about growing your business, because once you start getting ahead of that curve, then they're going to do the same thing. You're going to bounce off each other, and you have this network of people working together. I mean, that's really what it is, because if you let that network disappear, you're trying to do it all by yourself. And the more you grow that ability of asking for help, and your team that you've got this outreach with, you are going to start realizing that you have a lot of people that you can ask for help for on things when you are growing. And then you realize that, oh my God, I have this large group of people that are actually working together. We might be competitor gyms in that naming convention, but you're actually working together in those things, right? So those are very important. Now, the last thing that's really important, that's going to connect everything together, right? Execute. Execution is the key to everything. Okay, so what I mean by executing, you are going to have to make sure that everything that you do is able to be something in your foresights that you are going to commit 100% to. We talked about these things: leadership, commitment, streamline, marketing, building a team. All of this comes down to this major detail of execution. Because if you are not willing to execute, your leadership's going to fall short. If you are not willing to execute, your commitment is not going to be there. If you are not willing to execute, you are not going to be able to streamline the things. You're going to try to just give everything away, and then you're going to realize, I could sit back and just watch it do its thing. It's not going to work that way. If you are not willing to execute, your marketing is never going to happen. You have to keep growing. You have to keep evolving. You have to keep learning new ways of what's in the industry. You have to keep your ears open for what other people are doing. Execute when you're building a team. It's the same thing. The team that you are building is going to be there because of what you are able to execute with. And even with your execution of just asking people for help, that's a big deal. There are so many things that you can do with all of these levels. I mean, in today's time, everything that people are doing right now, there is no playbook for this. There is no secret ingredient of how we're going to be able to grow your gym or keep even your gym surviving during this COVID and this pandemic. But the thing is this: if you are committed and if you are willing to execute, all of these things are going to become prominent in what you're doing, and it'll be impossible for you to fail, because you are going to keep finding new ways, and you are going to inspire those around you to do the same thing. And you might just find yourself in a position where you are not only surviving, you're thriving. So these are huge, huge things, and if you could do these in each one of these, I know you guys are going to be successful. Hey guys, if you like this episode, follow the podcast and subscribe to our YouTube channel.